So to be honest, I never really played this game mode before, but I've seen dudes like King of the Fourth Quarter and stuff play, and it looks kind of fun. So they have two options here, the My GM off-season scenarios and then the sandbox. I just went with off-season scenarios because I don't really care. So the options they have is X Player, X Scout, which is improves the benefits of all analytic perks, Savant, which away games are treated like home games. They have Capitalist, replenish all chat points at All-Star break, Closer, opposing GMs are more likely to trade. I like that one. And then Custom, you could pick anyone you want. So at the end, I went with Closer because, you know, I need those beautiful trades and stuff so we could get the best players possible. I want to build a dynasty. Here's where I kind of messed up. I put the thing on 5 minutes instead of 12. I fixed that later. But Hall of Fame difficulty, of course, and I try to look which team is the absolute worst. And I thought about the Nets because, well, one, I'm from New York, two, the team is absolutely garbage. So we went with the Nets. Off of first glance, I can't lie, it looks clean, very clean. I got my own little office. You know, I never really knew 2K had other game modes until like I actually had time because Park was getting boring. So I'm trying to explore around. I'm assuming that's the governor since he's the first person that you see. So when I walk in, I go up, I want to see what he looks like, and he's smiling at me funny. So after exploring a little bit, I guess this is the locker room, and then I try to walk in here and it gives me a loading screen, and let's just say I can shoot around. You know, I gotta lace up the boots one more time. You know, pass me the ball. Let's see if I still got it. Honestly, if I played today on this team, I could lace up the boots one more time. We'll probably be the best team in the NBA. But anyways, into the offseason, we go to the draft lottery. The Jazz and the Wizards have the highest odds, but it ends up being the Mavericks who get it. We have the 8th pick in the draft.
Great, you can make it.
Of course, I'm gonna be late for my first day. What is you want to discuss?
I want to see your vision for the franchise. How do the Nets crack the playoffs and make a real splash?
So I'm thinking, do I want to rebuild? Do I want to go for someone big? Or do we get Cooper Flag?
We need to get someone very good in free agency.
So this whole part of the dialogue right here is absolutely pointless. Just talking about 2K and all this stuff. He wants an 85 overall worth player or whatever. And here I mentioned Michael Stauffer. Remember that name. Now next they start talking about attendance and stuff. I'm going to make sure to put seats in those chairs. You know what I'm saying? Me being the coach or the GM alone, I'm going to put seats in those chairs.
Perfect. Lastly, I do want to make sure that we're shooting for the playoffs. I like to make sure we get there within 3 years.
Now that's out the way. We move to step 1, the Stauffer method. Now if you don't know the Stauffer method, this is 2K dev Michael Stauffer, who put himself in the game as a coach. So we signed him. He's the best coach in the game. He has 5 stars in all the categories. I tried looking for a CFO because we need that too. I didn't really find it. So now I'm trying to look at the draft and explore and see what I can trade for to trade up in the draft. But then I realized this is the 24-25 roster. So there's no Michael Porter Jr., no Julius Randle, no nothing. So I'm trying to see who's available to trade. And I'm shopping around Cam Johnson, Cam Thomas, trying to see what I can do. I was going to trade finder, but I decided making my own trade was going to be better. So my goal is to shop around for picks. Now this brings me to step 2, get draft picks. So I'm trying to shop around and see who has the top 5 because I don't really remember off the top of my head. I know the Mavericks have their first pick, and that's the main goal, is to get Cooper Flag. So I'm willing to give up basically any pick. I want to keep the 8th pick to try and get other picks around the top 5. So I try to offer them a deal right here. They don't take it, of course they don't. So it wouldn't be that easy, right? So I'm trying to replace picks. We have a lot of picks, surprisingly. I take out that 1-star pick and I try to pick another one there. They still don't take it. I'm trying to shop around and see what I can give. I really don't want to give up the 8th pick because I don't feel like I have to in order to do it. But I forgot this is on Hall of Fame difficulty, so they're going to make me overwork for the pick. So So after I see nothing works, I end up having to give the 8th pick, and this ends up being the trade they accept. Now that trade one is done, I'm going to shop around my players so I can see what other picks I can get to trade for higher picks. And I end up seeing this for 2 first rounders. I take it in a heartbeat. So adios, Claxton. It was nice having you on the team, but bye-bye. So after this, I end up going to the combine, and my main goal was to try and scout and try and go for 3 out of the top 5 picks. And those 3 being Cooper. I wanted Dylan Harper, but I was like, nah. So I went for VJ, and then I ended up going for Ace Bailey. Another one that I wanted with a later first round pick was Carter Bryant, mainly for the defensive aspect. I think he'd be a great fit. Now, before I make my pick, I'm trying to explore and see what picks I can get. I do want to kind of get like the mid-10th pick, so I end up seeing the Bulls have the 12th pick. This is like my only chance to get Carter Bryant, so they're trying to offer me a bunch of baloney and stupid stuff. So I end up making my own trade, and just like that, we get the 12th pick. Now, I see the Jazz have the 5th pick. I try and do the trade finder, but doesn't work at all because trade finder is incredible. So I end up trying to trade for the 3rd pick. I see that, I believe it was Philly. Yeah, Philly had it. So I was trying to trade for the 3rd pick, but they was asking for a lot. So we went right back to the Jazz. And we offered them a similar deal, but so it wasn't enough. So we offered 2 more first. And we ended up getting it. Now we have the 1st pick, the 5th pick, and the 12th pick in the draft. So with the 1st pick, I ended up selecting none other than Cooper Flag. I think he's going to be the greatest addition to the team. The Heat trade for the 2nd pick and get Dylan Harper. I should have done that. And then the Rockets trade for the 3rd pick and get Ace Bailey. So with the 4th pick, I'm surprised. I don't even know who that guy is. I'm not going to lie. But they left VJ on the table. So we end up taking VJ, which was beautiful. So now with our next pick, I see Carter Bryant is gone. So I'm frustrated. I look at the draft summary, and the Rockets with 2 picks before me, they end up taking him. So now I have to reevaluate, reassess. I try to get Carter Bryant from the Rockets, but I end up seeing that they also happen to have Ace Bailey, so I think that would be probably the best bet. They want VJ. I'm not giving up VJ. So I end up giving them a 1st, the only 1st that I had. We have another 1st down there, and then I end up just throwing a bunch of 2nd round picks, seeing if that would work, and they end up accepting. They just got fleeced, so now that brings me to step 3, sign a free agent. So we kind of have the forwards down and the shooting guards. So I end up seeing Naz Reid, which I think would be a great center to stretch the floor and play the 5 for us. I don't even know who the net center is. So we offer him a contract. I end up offering Kyrie a contract too because we kind of need a point guard. So skipping the first day, I'm losing Cam Thomas to the Bucks. I'm not really worried about that. All he does is shot chuck, so I decline matching the contract. We lose Kyrie to the Mavs, so I end up making these moves on the 2nd day. We get Bobo, Quinn, Grimes, Caruso, Naz Reid, Tim Hardaway, Kuminga. So this ends up bringing us to the 1st season. I make like little roster changes. So we start off Trey Mann. We got Quinn, Grimes, Cooper, Kuminga, Nas, Hardaway, Caruso. We got VJ off the bench, which is crazy, and Ace Bailey off the bench. So we need the stoffer. I do my little coaching adjustments because I'm the real coach. He's not a coach. I'm the coach. I'm the GM. I'm basically a player altogether. So our year 1 goal is to make the playoffs and get rookie experience. I take one last little look at my roster, and then now we get to starting our 1st year sim. I end up getting this trade for Josh Hart and Mitchell Robinson for Kuminga and Bobo. And honestly, I mostly disabled these trades, but this trade looked absolutely beautiful for us in our future, so I end up accepting it. I think this was really a win now situation because Kuminga, even though I think he would have been a great player, Bobo doesn't really progress like that in 2K. So this is our new starting 5 look. That trade inspired me to shop around Quentin Grimes and see what I could get for him. I see Herb Jones. I'm kind of thinking about it. Cole Anthony, I'm kind of thinking about it. But then I see Austin Reeves. Now the Lakers. What are you thinking? I accept this trade in a heartbeat.
There's been a lot of buzz around your addition to Austin Reeves. So far, you feeling pretty good about the trade?
It just made sense for that team, and I expect it to be a part of our plans long term. So after that, I analyzed my roster again, and I kind of see I have a lot of extra players. So that brings me to the next step of our plan is to trade extra players for draft picks. So I end up shopping around. These are a bunch of like pointless trades. I'm literally just trading for draft picks, like for future trades and future players that we acquire. I see Clint Capella. I think we do need a backup center, so I end up picking him up. But we have like 6,000 centers on the team, so I end up having to trade these dudes away. I literally just traded for Capella for no reason, so I threw all 3 centers in the trade. I end up seeing Obi Toppin, which we pick up. So now our power forward rotation kind of looks nice. Now I have to throw away Clowney. Sadly, he was one of my favorite players last year. I end up seeing Peyton Pritchard, which I think is a great backup guard for our team. But then I realized he's not a backup, and he's our highest overall point guard. So this is a new look at the team. We have Trey Mann at point guard, Austin Reeves at the 2, Flag at the 3, Hart at the 4, Mitchell Robinson at the 5. On our bench, we have Peyton Pritchard, we have Obi Toppin, Ryan Rollins, whatever his name is. We have Ace Bailey and VJ. So now we're at the trade deadline. The team is actually doing a lot better than I thought. They still have the rookies on the bench. I kind of really don't want them. We have Al Horford somehow. I don't even remember trading for the dude, but Al Horford's on the team. I see the whole team's on fire, so I think we're really finding our footing in the East. Maybe we can make a deep run in the playoffs. But then I checked the system proficiency, and I see it was a 3-star, so I change it, and I end up simming until I get a press conference notification.
You almost defies the odds, but you've managed to rack up win after win lately. What would you say is the secret to success here?
Well, for starters, I'm the greatest GM. So I end up getting a level up, and I put it on defensive coaching because it's half a star, and I love defense. So next, we end up simming to the contract deadline. So I try to see like what players I have available to extend. I don't know what I'm pressing on, but then I see Austin Reeves, and I definitely want to re-sign him. He's the best player on our team. So I try to give him like a lesser deal, and I do, and it ends up working out for us. So with that will bring us to the end of the first season. MVP is the flopper himself, SGA, which is crazy. Rookie of the year, we end up getting with Cooper Flag. He put up almost a 50, 40, 90 year. Well, it's a little off of that, but 6 man is Anthony Simons, averaging 23. DPOY is Victor Wembanyama. Most improved is Matas Buzelos. Clutch player is Pablo, and coach of the year is OKC. Executive of the year is not me, so we don't care. Here's a look at the first team All-NBA, second team All-NBA, third team All-Defense. There's no Nets player here. Defensive second team, no Nets player here. For the all-rookie team, we got 3 of them. Ace Bailey's injured, but he averaged 12 points in his first year. VJ averaged 10, Cooper averaged 14, 6 rebounds. And another press conference, they actually about to go to the playoffs. And I let the press know that my goal is to give them playoff experience. This is me basically saying I have no hope in us winning a championship. I want the guys to go out there and gain experience and not to have any short-term goals, because it might hurt the team in the long run, which is great GMing by me. So unless we made the plan, I didn't really care about the plan, so I end up simulating the plan, and somehow off of this I leveled up just from simulating the plan, but I end up completing a goal as well from the governor to advance to the first round of the playoffs. Obviously, I'm the greatest GM ever, a bummy team. I'm going to take them to the playoffs because I'm the greatest to ever do it. So the perk I used on getting free agents to likely resign, because I don't want to lose any of my players, and I want to put them on like shorter deals too. Skipping over to the east side, the plan, Toronto ends up getting the 7th seed, Boston ends up getting the 8th seed, and we are the 5th seed going against Indiana in the first round. Now honestly, I have high hopes for us to beat them because Indiana. Like, come on, bro. So we get an absolute belt in the first game. And we won by 37 points to take a 1-0 lead in the series. I'm not gonna lie, that's a very good start. But you see here we're losing. And we end up losing by 20, which is absolutely crazy. My team should never be losing by 20. So I end up simulating the games like this. We take a 3-1 lead. And I simcast the last game. And we end up winning by 22 because I'm the greatest GM ever. So we're facing the Celtics in the second round. And we end up taking game 1 and taking game 2. And taking game 3. Game 4, we end up losing, which is absolutely ridiculous. My team should never lose any game in the playoffs. But we end up winning game 5. And now we're in the conference finals in the first year. Going against Detroit. Game 1, we end up winning. Game 2, we end up winning. Game 3, we lose. My team sucks. Game 4, we lose. Now the series is tied, so we have to simcast it. But I end up taking another look at my roster. I see Cooper Flag is injured, so you know me, being the great coach that I am, I end up making some adjustments. I take Al Horford out because why are you in the game? I give more minutes to my rookies, and I try to just do better overall as the team because we shouldn't be tied with the Pistons of all teams. I see Obi's on fire. I try to give more minutes to Nas Reed, just even out the positions. Hoping for a game 5 victory. I end up simcasting. We're losing bad. We bounce back in the second, but we end up getting blown out. We lose by 12, which is ridiculous. Down 3-2. Most GMs and coaches would just give up. Mike Stauffer did give up because why am I doing your job for you? Now I have to make different adjustments. I take Obi Toppin out the starting lineup, replace his minutes with Josh Hart. At this point, I gotta do whatever I can, so I end up going to a specific team, the Pistons, and I do elite coaching adjustments. I'm doing everything possible to make sure my team makes it out these conference finals as the winners. Now going into game 6, we simcast. And we win by 28, and surprise, surprise, Josh Hart got a triple-double. I'm the greatest to ever do it. Looking at the stats, the Pistons terrible game. Cade Cunningham 7 for 20. That's a tour date out there. My team, Cooper Flag, Nas Reed, Peyton Pritchard. All the guys did what they're supposed to do. Now going into game 7, it's close. But here we're running away with the game. I want to see my dudes win the title. Now, at first, I thought this was the NBA Finals. I ain't gonna lie. So when I jumped in, just wanted to see a little bit of action. And I get to see Peyton Pritchard dribble the ball out as the Brooklyn Nets are your 2025 NBA Conference Finals champions. I don't know why these dudes are celebrating. I should be the only one celebrating because without me, you guys will be home right now in Cancun chilling with LeBron. But of course, I'm happy to see my guys hold up the title. I'm assuming Austin Reeves, because he's in the middle. He's the conference finals MVP. That was one of the biggest trades I made during the season. I give nobody credit but myself because I'm the greatest. Now officially seeing it, oh man, I thought that was my team for a second. That's Jokic. We don't care about him. Austin Reeves averaging 21 threes, 7 assists on incredible shooting. Now it's time for the NBA Finals. We take game 1. Can the boys do it? We take game 2. Can the boys do it? We lose game 3. And we lose game 4, which is absolutely crazy. So me, again, I have to go back into my coaching bag because Mike Stauffer.
What the fuck are you doing, bro?
Also with the simcast, I do want to complain because you can't simcast a game. Like if you don't jump in to play it, you can't simcast a game and not play in it. So if I simcast like regularly and then try and jump in at the end, it makes me play the game, which is absolutely dumb. 2K, you need to fix that. So after my coaching adjustments, we go into game 5. Series is tied. And the game is close throughout the entire time. So I stop. I look for a point to jump in. I think this is a perfect time right here. Reporting to you live from Brooklyn, New York, we have the Nets. Mitchell Robinson inbounding. He inbounds it to Josh Hart. Josh Hart calls for a screen from Robinson. Hits Robinson on the slip. Robinson throws it out to Reeves. Reeves back to Hart. Mitchell Robinson another screen. Hart drives and gets fouled going out of bounds. Michael Porter Jr. crying. That was an obvious foul. Put your hands down, buddy. Robinson inbounding again. This time flag is in the game. Inbounds it to Naz Reid. Reid throws it to Flag. Flag on the wing. Gets a screen by Naz Reid. Flag drives. Hits Reid. And Reid with the dunk. Gordon inbounds it to Murray. Murray dribbling up the court. Getting absolutely locked down by Josh Hart. Jokic with an easy bucket at the rim over Mitchell Robinson. That's great defense from my center. You will be getting traded next season. First overall pick, Flag drives and hits Robinson on the slip, and he gets the bucket back right over Jokic. Maybe you won't be getting traded next season. Murray brings the ball up for the Nuggets. Gets a screen set by Christian Braun. Doesn't matter because he throws it to Jokic. He posts up Robinson, drives and throws up a shot. Great defense by Robinson. Hart bringing the ball up for the Nets. He hits Cooper Flag. Flag dribbles. Gets a screen set by Mitchell Robinson. He takes a pull-up J and it's off the mark. Porter Jr. gets the rebound. Throws it to Murray. Murray, same shot as Flag, doesn't hit. Hart brings the ball up for the Nets. Hits Flag again. Flag brings it back, drives, and hits an easy layup at the rim. Now I noticed the overlay at the bottom of the screen covering the score at this point. So I do end up moving it in about 10 seconds. I just want to apologize for that. This is like my first long video, my first video like this. You know, I'm still gaining experience. But if you're still here, please remember, like and subscribe, man. It's free. It's free. If you watching the video, you might as well like and subscribe. So the score is 109-112 with 26 seconds left in the fourth quarter. 26 seconds left in a crucial game 5. Gordon inbounds the ball to Murray. Jokic with a screen on Murray for some reason. Hits Jokic, and Jokic with a dunk over Robinson. You are definitely getting traded next season. The Nuggets down 1 are forced into the foul game, sending Austin Reeves to the line. Free throw 1 is good. Most nerve-wracking moment for his career. Free throw 2 is good. And the Nets hold a 3-point lead with 19 seconds left. Gordon inbounding in a do-or-die play right here. Screen set by Porter. End up getting Murray open on the wing. Pump fakes the shot, brings it back out. Jokic isoing Mitchell Robinson. Robinson with great defense. Robinson with the block. He hands it off to Austin Reeves. And that, ladies and gentlemen, if Austin Reeves can hit these free throws, he will seal the game. Reeves at the line. Free throw 1 of 1 is good. This free throw right here can potentially seal the game. Reeves throws it up and he misses. Jokic brings it up the court. He has to hurry. Hits Murray, Gordon shot and he misses. And the Nets take game 5 and take a 3-2 lead, heading to Denver for game 6. And look at the boys, man. What a game. My main goal was to just make the playoffs. Now we're in a game 6. Can the boys do it? We're up 20 here, and we're running away with the game, and the Brooklyn Nets are NBA champions, man. I gotta jump in and see the celebration, man. This is crazy. They got me playing. I don't even know why, but I don't even care at this point. Great steal by me. Pass. Throw that up, man. We did it. We did it. Anything is possible. Anything is possible. I mean, looking back at where we started and what we had at the beginning of the year to now, holding up the Larry O'Brien trophy, man, it just brings tears to my eyes. Jokic, man, you a loser. Get off the court. You too. I don't know why you crying. I don't even think you was on the court in the last second. You didn't do nothing for the team. You know what I'm saying? Brooklyn, NYC, we did it for you. New York, this is for you. I don't know who that guy is in the front, but look at the rest of the team, man, running out there. Mitchell Robinson, you played very crucial minutes. Sometimes you play terrible defense, but at the end of the day, you got the stops when we needed you to. I can't believe it, man. They're all just jumping up. They should have me on the stage. Why am I not on the stage? I should be carrying the trophy. They got Austin Reeves holding the trophy, passes it on to VJ. You know, great team right here. I'm happy at the team I assembled. I think we have a very strong core for the future. And seeing that we won in the first year, I think we could three-peat. I ain't gonna lie. That would be the goal right there. That's when the video is gonna end, if we can three-peat. Shout out to the guys, though, man. OB, AR, you know. And in the first year, we end up winning the title. Nobody expected it. I told the reporters, man, I don't want to aim for that. But anyways, your Brooklyn Nets have won the NBA championship. Austin Reeves is the finals MVP. He averaged 26. Absolutely incredible performance. Now, going into the second season.
Hello, I wanted to say you did a tremendous job handling the special task.
They were tough, but I'm glad we got the job done.
One job ESPN at the begins, we're going to start getting into more regular cadence and of my yearly directives and other tasks.
You know I'm ready for anything. What do you have for me?
I was excited, but he gave me the yearly budgets. I don't really care about none of this stuff, so I just do whatever. Now, going into the player retirements, LeBron, my king, you're gone. Al Horford, you did absolutely nothing. I don't even know how you got on the team in the first place, but you're gone. Westbrook is gone. KD retires way earlier than expected. Into the Hall of Fame, LeBron James, KD, Chris Paul, and Westbrook all make it into the Hall of Fame. Kyle Lowry gets his jersey retired. Why? But looking into the player team options, Wemby accepts. Trae Young and Luka both decline. But I see Jared McCain. That's a very interesting name. I would love to have him on my team. I think he'll fit great. I don't have no space to negotiate for Luka, so basically I'm just left with the same team. I might just have to shop around and try and make trades, so I do exactly that. I look at Josh Hart. He's getting a little bit old, so I shop him around a little bit. I end up seeing this trade for Rui Hachimura, and I accept it. I give this random up just for like a first round pick for a trade later. I end up trading Hachimura again for Buddy Hield in the first. Obi Toppin I give up for Miles Bridges. I think he'll be a great addition to the team. My goal here is to free up cap space and also get draft picks so I can shop around and try and get a bigger name. And I'm going to do exactly that. I see Steph Curry making $62 million a year. Absolutely ridiculous. And I see Peyton Pritchard. I can't give him up. So the only player money-wise who I think will match up is Austin Reeves. So I throw him inside of the trade. I'm trying to make the money in line. Most players that make a lot of money I don't want to give up. But then I end up seeing Miles Bridges, who I just traded for. And you just got fleeced, buddy. I don't even... That's just crazy. So our new lineup is Curry, Cooper, we got Ace Bailey, VJ, Treyman, Pritchard, and Naz Reid. But I end up seeing Matas Buzula, and I want to trade for him. So we give up Pritchard. I end up having to give up 2 firsts, but after these 2 firsts, we end up getting him. Now the new lineup is Curry, Bailey, we have VJ, Cooper, Nas, we got Buzelis as a 6-man. We have Trey Man as well. So, and then we have Jujang, Roddy, and a bunch of randoms. So now we're going into the second season. So I'm pretty confident in the guys this season. I think we can run it back. We have a way better team than we did last year. Well, in my opinion. But midway through simming, I noticed at the bottom of the screen there's text speeches. So I don't know if that was there last season, but let's go talk to Cooper. Now this right here is the greatest thing that they added. The fact that we can shoot around, like, let me show these old boys where the moves really came from. These are everything I teach you guys in practice. Look at that.
Hey, I'm glad you're here. I got a lot on my mind lately.
That's so like what?
Namely, my legacy was sort of impact I make on the beat. But I wanted to be level with me. Are you seriously pushing to win it all this year? If you are, I'd like to be traded to a contender.
I've seen firsthand all the work the team has been doing in the practice gym and in the weight room. We'll win more in the next 5 years than anyone else, I promise.
So starting to sim into the next season, I get called into the office. And the governor tells me that he wants to reshape the team and get 5 first-round picks. 5. So you know what I'll tell that dude? I tell that man, I go all the way down. Absolutely not. So I see quite a couple of losses. So my coach ain't doing a great job. So me, I reshape the team. I keep simming throughout. I see we're picking up the pace, doing a little bit better. So I make a little bit of coaching adjustments, try to even out the minutes. Because I see the power forward has like no space. So I take out Torian Prince and then I continue to sim.
Hey, Chief Reg is here. This is our year.
This man is asking for extra staff members because he found quote unquote Giannis 2.0 in the scouting report. I give it to him, but there's no way. We're doing pretty good for the year. 27 wins, 17 losses, but I think we could do a little better. So I kind of shop around a little bit, see who I can move around, if anybody. I noticed all these randoms on my team, so of course I'm going to try and shop them around. Torian Prince, don't know how you're on the team. Trade him from Rob Will. He could play backup center. I think that's a great pickup for the team. This Juju Wang guy, I trade him for Lou Dort. Now I got a backup shooting guard as well. I throw Trey Jones and Muhammad Gugu Gaga in the trade front, and I find Cole Anthony. Easy pickup. And I end up simulating until the trade deadline, and I stop and I see 3 of my players are injured. Now the team isn't doing too bad, so I actually end up deciding to leave it alone and continue to simulate through the season. Jokic is the MVP. Brooke Shaw and all these other stuff. Wemby gets DPOI again. Most improved goes to VJ Edgecombe. That's my player right there. Clutch player of the year goes to Trey. Coach of the year goes to Mike Stauffer. And executive of the year goes to me. I should have been both coach of the year because Michael Stauffer is doing a terrible job. All NBA first team, All NBA second team, All NBA third team. You can pause if you want. Cooper Flag makes the defensive second team. And the Brooklyn Nets are the first seed. I simulate the play-in, and again, we're going against Indiana. And with the series tie 1-1, I go into coaching mode, and automatically I make some adjustments because there's no way that we just split the first 2 games with Indiana. And due to my phenomenal coaching, we take the series in 5. Now we're going against the Knicks of New York. We end up going 2-0, but then we lose game 3 and we lose game 4. So we go in the Simcast and try and see if we can pull away in game 5. And you know, the first half kind of looked a little bad, but in the second half, we end up taking the lead. And with 3 minutes left, we're up by 10. Very close game, but I believe in the roster that I built. Knicks is trying to make a push in the final moments. But we're holding on to the lead and we're fighting. Now in the last minute, I don't know what the Knicks was doing, but we end up taking the game far, far away and far out of reach. And just like that, we go up 3-2 in game 5 with a chance to close it all out in game 6. And in the second half, the Knicks end up blowing us out the water. So now you already know I have to go into coaching mode. It's probably Montage Boozala's fault. So I make my coaching adjustments. And just like that, we're ready for Game 7.
Concrete jungle where dreams are made of. There's nothing you can't do when you're an illusion.
Now we put belt to heels. And we end up winning Game 7 by 32 points. Steph Curry drops 31, 7, and 10. Bailey with 27. Cooper with 22. The Knicks, this is my GM, not your GM. We don't really care about your stats, but y'all play terrible. And for the second year in a row, the Nets make it to the conference finals, and we're going against the Cleveland Cavaliers, who have a really solid squad. So I take a different approach and I go into coaching mode immediately because I don't want to have to wait until we lose. And now we're heading into Game 1 of the conference finals. We end up winning. Steph Curry again, 27 points, our star player. I look at the Cavs and I notice my matchups defensively wasn't really working, so I might have to adjust it, but we'll see. Game 2, we end up losing, so you know what that means, right? We're going in Simcast mode. Game 3 got lost in the fouls, but Game 4, we're going in Simcast mode. And something about Simcast, whenever I do it, we barely lose. I think we only lost like once or twice the whole time we did it. So we end up taking Game 4. We go up 3-1, which is a little scary because Cleveland knows a thing or two about coming back 3-1. But the good thing is they don't have a LeBron. So Game 5, we end up losing, which is the worst thing possible. But we end up winning the series in 6. Donovan Mitchell played great. His team didn't perform. He's used to that already. Amen Thompson and Cooper Flag are your conference finals MVPs. And then the finals is the Rockets versus the Nets. Looking at the Rockets, their team is very underwhelming. All they got is Amen Thompson. So I'm pretty confident we're going to walk away with our second NBA championship. Going into Game 1. The Nets, we take it. Game 2, the Rockets take it. How? I don't know why we're losing. We lose Game 3. We win Game 4. The series is tied 2-2. So you know what time that is, right? Simcast time. This game wasn't competitive at the start. They had a very good first and second quarter. They ended up taking like a 10-point lead. But in the third quarter, we bounced back. In the fourth quarter, we're down 9, but we end up being down 2 with 3 minutes left. I want to get a little closer before I jump in. We end up taking the lead here, which is crazy with 2 minutes left, so time to jump in. Dylan Brooks inbounding for Houston. Throws it into Jalen Green. Green dribbles, gets a screen from I don't know who that is. Dribbles, reach upper with the ball, pass it to Dylan Brooks. Thompson thinks he's Curry, absolutely smokes the shot. Rebound by Williams, Jalen Green. Screen by Williams, Jalen Green attacks and throws the ball to I don't know who is over there. And it's Nets basketball, up 5 with 1:36 to go. Nas Reed inbounding, Curry bringing the ball up. Curry gets a screen by Reed, Curry rolls, Nas for 3, absolutely misses the shot. Cooper Flag with the steal. Cooper bringing the ball up, doesn't want to pass, throws it to Ace Bailey. Bailey for 3, and the Nets take a 8-point lead. 1 minute to go. Green bringing the ball up, brings it back, running into a brick wall of a defender. Passes it to Thompson. Thompson back to Green, hot potato. Green puts up a terrible shot. Rebound by Matas Boozalus. Curry with the ball up top. Curry guarded by Thompson. Throws it to Nas Reed. Beautiful screen for Bailey. Nas Reed, another chance. Hits it. And that seals the game. The Nets with an 11-point lead. And now Brooklyn has a chance to take the championship in a crucial Game 6. Can we do it? Rockets getting off to a fiery start. But you know what? We never stay down. Third quarter, we pulling away. Fourth quarter, it gets very, very close. But we end up pulling away with 2 minutes left. 13-point lead, 16-point lead, 18. And we end up blowing them out, and we win our second NBA championship by 24 points. I forgot to jump in for the championship celebration. Now, before I even get the "you have won the championship," gotta equip my attributes and my perks, I guess. I don't know why they didn't do it after. I'd rather see that and be able to celebrate than get hit with this. But I think the perks really help, because there's no way that Austin Reeves and Miles Bridges was worth for Steph Curry, but Steph Curry carried us to the promised land this year. Well, I don't know who the finals MVP is yet until I get over with this, but I think I'm doing a great job as a GM. I don't know if Brooklyn ever won a championship before, but they have with me. They won 2 in a row. Cooper Flag ends up winning the finals MVP, averaging 16, which is crazy. And now we're heading into season 3. I don't know what's a governor's role, but he's not doing what I'm doing, so you can't tell me any goals or nothing that you want. James Harden ends up doing us all a favor and retiring. He should have done that like 5 years ago. You can't perform in the playoffs. So like I start off every single year, I end up shopping around trying to see what I can get. I don't really end up finding anything, but we have to re-sign Steph Curry. I notice he's not on my team. So the first thing I do is I go and I try to offer him a lower contract, because I see he's expecting $45 million, which is absolutely ridiculous. I go and see who else is on the market too. He was a very crucial part in our championship run this year. Probably wouldn't have won it without him, but the fact that you're asking for $45 million, you're like 40 years old, pack it up, buddy. So I end up lowballing him, like absolutely lowballing. And somehow the interest is still high, so I end up offering him around 13 million. But I noticed he had an offer, so I wanted to look at what other team was offering him, and the Pistons offered him $2.5 million. Curry is not accepting that. I don't care if he's 50, he's not accepting that. So I kind of try and toggle around the deal and see like what's the sweet spot and what I could really get him for. Seeing how low the other team's interest was, I think if I offer him lower, like a lower interest, I could still pick him up. So I end up going lower than the 13 that I was expecting. Eventually I end up settling on 10 million. Just 10 million flat, and I offer it to him to make space for other people as well. I see Tyler Hero as well. He's still young too, so he kind of fits with the dynamic of the team. The only old person we really have is Steph Curry, and the people at the bottom of the bench, they're not getting no playing time. So I end up trying to lowball Tyler Hero as well. So I end up offering him lower than what he was expecting. And when I simulate through the day, we could get both of them, but it will bring me over the cap, so I just decided to take Steph Curry anyway. I ended up trading for Sengun, but then after I realized like the performance I wanted from the team, I kind of didn't want him anymore. He's kind of ball dominant, and he didn't average as many rebounds as I wanted. So I see Duran average 13 rebounds, so I assume as a center he'd be a better fit, so we pick up Duran. Now honestly, this might be the best lineup that we had. I also picked up Jeremy Sohan. I was going to kind of shop around Rob Williams, but then I realized starters and backups, we had a very good setup besides the point guard. So my goal was to find a backup point guard, and I ended up offering DeJounte Murray a contract now again. I noticed it worked with Curry, so I'm just lowballing everybody, I guess. I offered AJ Mitchell a contract as well because he was young. I also offered Jordan Poole a contract too. So AJ Mitchell I didn't get, but DeJounte Murray I got, and then the next day I ended up signing Jordan Poole. So So after that, I didn't feel we need to make any other changes. Cooper Flag is a 94 overall. Curry drops to an 87. VJ is making good progress. Everybody's jumping up. Just Steph Curry is the only one, and Rob Williams. They both had a downgrade in their overall. But 87 for Curry, I think, is still good enough to...
Curry wants to retire.
So I make my coaching adjustments for the year. And sadly, this is the last year of Steph Curry. So we end up going through the year. We're doing incredible, by the way. 60-win team. Wembanyama gets the MVP again. Rookie of the year. I don't care about Defensive Player of the year. Wemby again. Clutch Player of the year is Cade. Coach of the year is Mike Stauffer. And me again, Executive of the year. I'm the greatest to ever do it. All NBA first team. We still don't have anybody from the Nets. Cade made it though. And Luka, man, the Lakers have been quiet. I have not heard nothing about Luka. Let me see what he's averaging. 35 points a game. Now, I kind of want to see what awards did he have. So I went and I checked. It was just giving me all these tutorials and stuff. But he has no credible awards, no MVPs, no championships, no nothing. Not even a conference championship. It's embarrassing. So you can pause if you want to see the teams. Cooper Flag is all defensive first team, which is incredible. We are the number 1 seed again. Simulate the plan, and we end up playing Chicago in the first round. Simulate the first game, we take it. Second game, we take it. Third game, we take it. And we complete the sweep. Bring the brooms out. In the second round, we're going against the Toronto Raptors. Scotty Barnes and friends. Now we get into game 1 and we take it. Game 2, we end up losing. How? I have no clue. I take a look at their lineup and this team is absolutely garbage. How are we losing to these people, bro? I don't even think this is a sim castable series because that team is so bad. So I end up not sim casting because I have confidence. And look at the Lakers up 3-0. Right after I said Luka hasn't accomplished anything. So game 3 we end up winning. Game 4 we end up winning. And game 5 we end up winning for a 5-game series. And we end up playing Atlanta, who have Trae Young, Dyson Daniel. Well, they have the same exact team as they always have. They just gotten better. Zachary Ricochet surprisingly is something special now. 86 overall. You should be a 60. The Lakers and Wolves are playing on the other side. Game 1 we take. Game 2 we win. Game 3 we lose. Game 4 we can't sweep anybody, I guess. Anthony Edwards wins. Luka Doncic can't win anything apparently. 2K hates him. Cooper Flag wins Eastern Conference Finals MVP. I think he has every single Finals MVP so far. And we end up facing the Wolves. Take a look at their team. They got Robert Dillingham, Edwards. They got Jaden McDaniels, Julius Randle. They have the same exact team. Julius Randle's in the Finals. Can't let him win a championship. Besides shooting guard, I think we outmatched them in every single position. And I think we have a very good chance at probably sweeping them, to be honest, because Rudy Gobert as your starting center in the NBA Finals is absolutely crazy. Going into game 1, we take it by a lot. Game 2, we take it. We're up 3-0. We lose game 4. Can the Wolves come back 3-0?
Goodbye.
I don't think so. So with that, the Brooklyn Nets have 3-peated. And again, I level up because I level up every season. And VJ Edgecombe surprisingly gets the Finals MVP instead of Cooper Flag. Besides the first year with Austin Reeves, this is the first time Cooper Flag didn't get the award. And now I don't think I'm going to go into another season because I think I accomplished everything I needed to. I'm the greatest general manager of all time. It's not even in the debate. Look at what I had before. This team was absolutely garbage. So after doing all these finances and stuff, I sit back and I think to myself, what would the Brooklyn Nets be without me? Absolute garbage. So after applying that, I see Steph Curry has officially retired, which brings a tear to my eye. So I think with him retiring, maybe I should too. DeMar DeRozan retires too. I don't even know how he's still in the league. I thought Drake retired him. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, I think that will cap off the video. I don't think anybody could three-peat with the Nets, so Curry ends up making the Hall of Fame. We didn't retire his jersey. We should have. But one last look at the roster before I hang up the boots. And this was definitely fun. If you want to see more of these videos, definitely let me know. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Comment on the video if you made it this far. I appreciate it. I hope you have an amazing day. JJ out.